Hey everybody, welcome to this video blog. Welcome to the Sports Corner. I'm Art Regner for FoxSportsDetroit.com, and today we're going to talk a little bit about college football, specifically Denard Robinson and the Michigan Wolverines. As many of you know, Michigan was waxed Saturday night in Dallas by the Crimson Tide of Alabama by a score of 41-14. Denard did not play real well. And if you notice, Timmy Chang is here. He insisted on coming by today so he could apologize. I've tried to let him know that Denard's performance was not Timmy Chang's fault, but he's accepted my apology, yet he just wants Michigan fans to know out there that he feels your pain. So Timmy's here at least for today's show. As you can tell, we keep adding to the Sports Corner, and we will keep doing that, but let's talk about Michigan and what happened on Saturday night. As you know, there must be joy in East Lansing right now, or as my good friend Dan Wetzel calls it, Beast Lansing, because Michigan State now is 11th in the country in both polls. Ahead of Michigan. Michigan dropped to 19th, so all the panic and the disrespect that Spartans felt, well, guess what? Now you're rated higher than Michigan, and with that defense, I think that you have a chance. Michigan State does to be a very good team. Michigan is the only team in the AP poll that has a loss that's in the top 25. In the coaches poll, there's two teams in the top 25 with a loss, Michigan at 19 and Boise State, whom Michigan State beat, checks in at 25. But with all that said, people are wondering about what's going on with Michigan and what's going on with Denard Robinson. Very disappointed that he didn't rush the ball that much, and Al Borges, Michigan's offensive coordinator, said he really wouldn't change the game plan that much if he had to do it over again, even though Michigan was stymied. Except for the first defensive stand by Michigan, the game really went downhill quickly. Denard was not very good, but Denard is a very interesting player. Except for a few games, and I can think of two at Iowa, last year's game and then 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I guess it would be now, or 4 years ago. I'm all confused. Anyway, he came in, I think, to relieve Tate Forcier and almost led Michigan to a victory against Iowa, but threw a pick. So my point being is that Denard is either on or he's off. He is an extraordinary player. He gives you a lot of tools, but I think that Michigan decided last year, based on what they had, that they had to somehow put Denard in the best position to win. They had to modify their offense, what Brady Hoke and Al Borges believe, in order to make it be cohesive with Denard's skill set. So what Michigan ended up doing is that they decided that we have a wonderful player here. He's not a bad quarterback. He learns. He's a kid that will do anything, and he's fearless. I think Denard sometimes tries to press too much. So any way you look at it, this guy right here is Michigan's quarterback through the end of the year. Now, he's the quarterback, and they will do everything that they can to put him in the best position to win. Denard, you have to settle down a little bit. You can't do it all yourself. I think your receivers, your offensive line. Let's be honest here. This was a bad game on all facets except for maybe punting in the return game, where young Norfleet, the returner, played very well. Michigan did not play very well. Alabama is a superior team. Tip your cap to them. But Michigan can certainly get better, and they certainly have a lot of room for improvement. But it was not a good game by the Michigan Wolverines by any stretch of the imagination. So I think that laying it all on Denard is tough to do, but he is the quarterback, and that's what's going to happen. So now that Denard is the quarterback and Michigan has decided that he is going to be their quarterback, and again, this was a decision that was made last year. I mean, Michigan saw what they had. Could they have used Devin Gardner, switch positions? If they were going to do it, it would have happened last year. Nothing's going to happen to Denard Robinson. He's Michigan's quarterback, period. Could he throw the ball a little bit better? I think he presses. I mean, he had open receivers. It looked like, you're sitting there from a Michigan perspective and you're thinking, oh gosh, so close, but yet so far. Now, Denard obviously is keeping the seat warm until this young man shows up to campus right here. a little upside down. Of course, that is Shane Morris. Everybody thinks that he is the next great Michigan quarterback. Now, it's kind of weird, too. I think it's some kind of eerie when, a grown man like myself is putting all my hopes on Michigan's fortune on a kid from De La Salle. But, hey, that's the way it is. I get older, and the players continue to get younger. Anyway, until Shane Morris is here, I think Michigan will run a sort of a modified offense and try to get to the skill set of Denard Robinson. So I wouldn't really worry too much about it. There is certainly room for improvement. Michigan was very fortunate last year with their schedule, where most of their tough games were at home. This year it's just the opposite. Besides Michigan State, most of Michigan's tough games are all on the road. But they can get better. I think they will get better. It'll be interesting to see how fans feel about Brady Hoke and where Michigan is at, considering that Brady is in his second year. And I think I read something somewhere, and I thought it was a good point, that the second year is always tougher because during the first year everybody buys in, and the key to Michigan's success last year was that the senior class really bought into Brady Hoke and his Michigan tradition, which was great. Well, now, after 2 years, some guys are probably not buying in as much as they did last year because they're being replaced by either recruits Brady has brought in or by guys that the coaching staff thinks is better. So I'm not saying there's upheaval in Michigan. It just might not be the same, 120 guys or whatever, how many guys are on Michigan's football team are all on the same page. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops as well. I do have another thing to say, too. Please, Dave Brandon, no more alternative jerseys. I think the jersey by itself looked okay. But when you have maize shoulders, I think it takes away from Michigan's football helmet, and I thought it was a little too much maize. With Michigan's football helmet, you really don't need anything else. That's the way I look at it. So please, Dave, Michigan now has had 6 alternate jerseys in less than a year's time. Let them just wear maize and blue and let them get their acts together on the field. So am I disappointed about Michigan? I'm a bit disappointed, certainly. I wish they would have put up a better game. Am I encouraged about the future? Well, that remains to be seen. Air Force is going to be a tough game. But overall, I think that Denard Robinson will get better. I think he's a better passer than he showed. He's never going to be a great passer. And I think Michigan's defense has a lot to prove as well. And Michigan's offensive line, Taylor Lewan, penalties, my friend. You got to play within yourself and play composed. You're costing your team. So it'll be interesting, as I said, to see what happens against Arizona. Until we meet again, have a safe and pleasant one, everyone. And we will continue talking about these guys. The Lions are next. I don't know why everything's upside down today, but we'll get into the Lions. And also, I still have things to say about a pending lockout in the NHL. So we'll talk to everyone later. See you later. Take care. Goodbye.